Hello, everybody. In our parsha at the very beginning, we are told about the first thing that was done in the Mikdash every day. V'lavasha kohen midobad u'michlisebad yilbash al b'saro. The kohen who was about to do this first task would put on big day kahuna. V'heirim et adeshen asher tochal ha'esh et ha'olah al ha'mizbeach. V'samo etzel hamizbeach, and he would take a shovel and take out some of the coals that had accumulated on top, the ashen coals that had accumulated on top of the mizbeach, and put it to the east of the mizbeach on the floor of the azara. And this sounds a little bit unusual that he has to put on big day kahuna for what doesn't really seem to be actual avoda, but rather a housekeeping task to clear away some of the ash that had accumulated before going on to the day's work and the Seder HaKarbanot. Yet, it is very surprising that we read in the Mishnah in the second chapter of Masechet Yuma that this was a task for which the Kohanim were in hot competition. Barishona kol mi sherotzeh litrom et hamizbeach torem. In the very beginning, the original procedure was whoever wanted to do Trumat HaDeshen would do so. Uvisman shehi merubin, and when there were many Kohanim who were vying for the position, Ratzim va'olim ba'kevesh, they would have a race going up the ramp, v'chol ha'kodem et chavero ba'arba amot zacha, and the first one that got there was the one that got to do the job. And if there was a tie, then they would have a hatzpa'ah. They would do a certain type of casting of the fingers and counting. The mamuna would count, and one of them would be awarded with the job. But then the Mishnah continues that one time there were two of them who were in a hot tie, and as they were running up the ramp, one of them pushed the other one and broke his leg as a result of the other having fallen on the ramp. And when Besdin saw this, they decided that's it. From now on, we are not going to have this open competition. It's too hotly contested, and they would conduct a lottery in a more organized fashion. So much competition to do what was basically a housekeeping job. Rabbeinu Bechaya explains to us that, in fact, the whole reason that the Kohanim had to wear big day kahuna for this task was because one would normally relate to this task as an avodah kala, a very simplistic thing, not important whatsoever. And we see from the Torah's command that the Kohen is to put on for the hidur of this task, big day kahuna, that it actually counts and it matters and it's important. We live in a world where the end result is all that matters, what the public sees, the behind-the-scenes preparation, the attitude that builds up to the actual performance of the end mitzvah is not always appreciated. And never is there a better time than on Pesach to reflect on this, with all of the preparations that Jewish households engage in order to have a beautiful Pesach, especially Leil HaSeder, the cleaning and the shopping and the arranging and the cooking and taking out our best utensils, etc. A lot of preparation before we make the first bracha. That's part of the mitzvah performance. It's the first step in the avoda of the day, worthy of big day kahuna and worthy of our best efforts. Shabbat Shalom.